Hello, welcome to the Crafty Maven Getaway podcast. I'm your host, Hannah.
And I'm Maggie. Thank you for joining us for Scrappy Chats. Today is episode 23.
Well, welcome back, Megan.
Yeah!
So today on episode 23, we are going to be talking about working on mini album projects. So we're going to kind of go through some stuff about mini album projects. So I got the inspiration to do this episode because we are starting a album series on our YouTube channels. We're going to collab, and I thought this would be fun because we're coming into fall time and then Christmas, and there's usually a ton of fall like mini album type projects that a lot of people do around in October or around that time,
right?
And then December daily. So and then the new year with one little word. So I thought, hey, why not come into this new season with talking about projects that we like to do. Okay, Megan, here's a question. How many mini albums have you started?
Oh goodness. Oh wow. You should have asked me this a couple days ago so I could have actually done my homework.
Actually looked. But no, yeah, it's much more fun doing it on the fly.
Just doing it. Yeah. Gosh, I don't even know. I mean, there's got to be 20, 30. I know that I definitely know that you and I, when we went, what was that, 2020? We went on a girls' weekend trip when I came to visit you. So I have that one and I haven't started that. And that was what, 10 years ago? 5 years ago? I can't do math. Yeah, you're right. 5 years ago. And I haven't even touched that one. I bought the album and I have everything ready, but it's haven't touched it.
I had mine started.
Did you? Well, and I think you started it while I was still there, didn't you?
I don't know. I have a ton of pictures printed out.
Oh, fun. Oh my gosh.
Your hair looks really funny.
It does. It's so weird.
It was the beach look. See, everyone?
Yeah.
The beach look, but
yes.
I'm gonna, make you feel different. Funny. Right there, it's sticking up the beach. I say that like my hair is any better. Look at it. The only reason mine's better is behind my ear, but this side looks all funny and needs to be all out. That's okay. We had a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
That beach trip.
That was a lot of fun.
We did a whole lot of stuff that weekend, but
I know we did.
All trying to do stuff where we were social distancing. And good people, so we, didn't get sick.
Yeah, that was that feels like a different time.
It was so
weird. It's so weird to think about 2020 now.
Right? I know. It's like a whole different time. And every once in a while, there's glimpses where I live of it because being near a big city, and there are some people who are really strict about certain things here.
Yes.
And so I still see people with masks on just in the wild, not at a doctor's office or pharmacy. I get that scenario. That's right. Different, but out in the wild, and I still have seen people driving in their car with masks, but that's a whole other thing. I'm not sure what they're trying to protect themselves from. Maybe they're Ubers,
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But if that helps them feel better,
right?
Sure. I just hope they get all the air they need. When you're in your car, that's hot. That's hot.
That is hot. That is so crazy.
I get it. People have to, people got to do different things, and I don't know their own situation and their own health stuff. So it's you gotta try to be. I have to be easy on them because I to do things differently, and what might get sick.
Right. Yeah.
doesn't mean that, well, and with that said, like, I know, like, even now I'm much more conscious about, like, if I'm sick, like, not to say that I haven't been like this in the past, but even more so, like, if I know I'm sick, I don't want to be around people, and I really
Right.
try to, like, I'll call out to work a lot easier now, just because I know that, like, I can spread germs easier. But anyway, that's all besides the point. We're going to go back.
We're getting off topic.
Not a COVID in scrapbooking podcast. Maybe we can do something like that at some
That would
point.
be interesting.
That would be interesting to talk about, like, how that changed our industry in a lot of ways, how that changed the community, and what kind of things were we prioritizing during that time period. That would be
that's a good idea.
So retrospective. Maybe in March we'll do it.
That's a good idea.
Started.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should write that down so we don't forget.
Yeah.
Well, so that is definitely one that I know I still have, because, like, I want to do that mini album. It's just like there's so many other things that I also want to do. So it's like I've got to be better about prioritizing, and I'm not.
Yeah. Like, there's just too many projects, not enough scrap days.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately. So I know I have at least that one, and then I have the wedding album that I'm doing. We just actually got back our wedding photos, and, like, just even seeing, like, a few of them just now, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have, like, millions and hundreds of wedding layouts. Like, I don't even know.
That's
gonna be
on your channel. Hopefully they like wedding layout spreads.
Hopefully, because yes, I'm gonna have so many wedding layouts. But and then there's, like, I mean, I have some for my kids and stuff too, like little mini albums. So I've got to have like 20 to 30 mini albums.
I feel like that's a lot. I wonder what the average is. Maybe I should do a poll when I post this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Episode up and see how many mini album projects people have started, at least. Finishing is a whole different story.
Oh yeah.
How many do you have finished, do you think? And I know this is on the fly, so
I would say, because December Daily is one that I often will finish. So I'm gonna say at least, and I think I started in 2014 with December Daily.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say at least 10 of those albums, if not more. And then I do have some, like, I think it was like 2022 or 2023 when I decided to do like 6x8 albums. No. Maybe it was 2021. And I think I did like 2 or 3 of those albums. And it was just like pocket page stuff. So, I mean, I have a few, like, I think I maybe did half of the year that year, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you were doing like pocket instead of like a big project life.
Right. Yeah. I did the smaller one.
Well, and that was a really smart thing to do.
That was the year that I had my hysterectomy. So I was at home. And that was the year I almost died too. So I was like at home a lot that year.
Yeah.
So,
well, I hope so. I hope that you didn't have to no, I was friends with you then. So, but I'm just saying.
That was the year. That was
a busy, crazy year.
That was a really crazy year. Well, that was the year that Ashley and I got together, my wife and I. So yeah.
I know.
And I got divorced and everything. So that was like the year.
A lot going on, and then into the summer. I remember that a lot because me and Jason were together.
Yeah, you guys.
We were together 6 or 8 months before you and Ashley got together.
Yeah.
Actually, it had to have been closer to 8 months, but I remember that was our first summer.
You guys met around November, right?
Yeah.
Before Ashley and I met. So it would have been 8+ months that you guys were together. before.
Yeah, and that was my kid's first summer away. So I remember when you guys met and you guys first started talking, and I remember me and Jason doing walks and stuff because we were like going back and forth between him and my house, and so since the kids weren't here and we didn't have to be in one place, and so that was. But I remember you're talking about you guys and going, because there was just a lot going on.
It was a lot.
So going, I wonder how this will go. So
yeah.
Because you just never know with some of those first initial relationships, you just never know how things will go. So
right. Yep.
But yep. So I forgot that was the year that you were doing the mini 6x, because I know you did that a couple of years, didn't you?
Well, I think I tried, but I think 2022 was the first year that I was actually successful with it. So, and I mean, by successful, I mean, I think I want to say that I probably scrapbooked maybe 5 months of that year. That's like the most successful I've ever been. Like, that's insane.
Think just doing it is a success in itself. I think,
or
I should say, it should be. We should get a gold star for that. And I get that, like, we're not really gold star generation, but we should, because it's a lot of work to start those projects.
It is. Oh yeah, it is.
And staying the course, like, I have full admiration for the people who stay the course and they actually can get it, because even like I've done project life spreads and I never finished. I think I've hardly ever finished a whole year, just because I do 12 by 12 and that's my real love. And so it's like at some point, though, I want to say, was it 2000 what? It wasn't 2022 because I wasn't scrapbooking really then. I was or I should say, not on my channel. I know I was doing some project life, but that was older project life, I think, from the year before. What year was that? 2018 maybe. I did almost a whole year. I did do a lot of that year.
Yeah.
So, and in 2019 I was also doing some project life and stuff. But when I was in Hawaii, I did project life.
Yeah, you did it a lot.
I did. I think I did almost a whole year that year too. And I put it in between my layouts. So that I was doing a lot of layouts then too. But anyway, those weren't mini albums though. When I was do project life, I just put it in a big album. So it's like I've thought about going back and doing like smaller project life albums, but for me it's hard to do a 6x8 for project life, even though that's a smart idea. If you don't know, if you don't have a lot of stuff going on, or you don't know what you really want, like how much you want to invest in it. But yeah, I'm trying to think how many albums I have, because I have started a lot.
Yeah.
I think I've started One Little Word twice. One year I actually got the kit. That was fun. I've done
that was fun.
At least 2 Week in the Lives and 1 or 2 Day in the Lives, I think. And I've done the December Daily quite a few years. I'm trying to think what year I started that in. 2000, it might have been 2014. It might have been the same year.
I'm trying to remember too, because that was the year we both started YouTube, right? We both started in 2014.
Yeah, we did. And I started that summer. So that was, I think I did do it that year, because once I got into YouTubing, it was a big thing to share your December Daily album.
Yeah, Definitely.
That was a big time. Well, I feel it's still a big time.
It's
December
still.
Daily still is like such a big thing because I one of the years, and I don't know how it was this year because I didn't buy any stuff like when Allie opened up her store this year because she already opened up her store for December
Yeah.
Daily. I'm sure it's almost all sold out already, or at least the main kits, right? Because
Right.
the stuff that I bought last year for December, I got right before December.
Mhm.
There was not that much stuff, so I just like kind of had to get some small stuff, and I just bought some digital stuff, and then I bought some collections online. But I know the one year that we crashed the site,
Yeah.
some people were coming on, so it's still like so popular, and I
Oh,
love
it is.
December Daily albums. I love seeing them. It's just super fun. Looking through and seeing how people do it, and
Oh, yeah.
like I think it would be fun to take one of her classes for December Daily. I want to say, was it Christy who did one year she was,
I
I'm
don't
sure there's
remember.
more of her friend group who's done them, but I remember her doing it one year, and like her album turned out really awesome that year because Christy she always did December Daily. I think that's what I remember seeing, that even before I started scrapbooking, because Christy
Yeah.
was on a little bit before me and you. I think she was on the year before,
I don't
and
even
I was like,
remember.
that was all of us baby YouTubers. We all were just like, it was when people were just starting to share scrapbooky stuff
Yep.
online, besides the big people, and so I know Christy was one of the first people, and I just remember looking at her album, and gosh, I'm trying to think. Her oldest, Jackson, right?
Jackson. Yeah.
I think he was a baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
And
I'm
now
trying to think how old he is. He's what, Caden, Sam's age, maybe? How old
I'm
is he?
trying to remember because she was born in,
She's a little bit younger than Tinian.
okay, I couldn't remember if she was born before or after because Tinian was 2010. I want to say that Jackson
Maybe,
was,
maybe Caden is older than Tinian. No, Caden's older than Tinian.
okay, yeah. I was like, wait, no, it's younger.
My brain is getting confused.
Well, because Tinian's in July and
Yeah,
Caden's,
in February.
yes, okay.
So, yeah. Yes,
Our brains.
we are that
It's fine.
old.
Oh,
Or we're
God.
getting our kids' ages mixed up, and
Oh,
our
my
own.
gosh.
I
Yeah.
constantly get my age wrong. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
so I know I loved December Daily, so I try to almost. There's been a few years where I've not done them, obviously, like when I wasn't scrapbooking, and I don't know if I'll go back. The year that I was really separated, be like that when I started going through the divorce process. I did take a lot of photos that year, and then I decided not to do anything with
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
And then after that, I just didn't even care. I didn't worry about it until this past year. And then I intentionally made sure I was taking pictures because I knew I was doing an album.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, my album looks a lot different this year or this past year than it. I mean, it's similar, but it looks a lot different because it's more me focused as opposed to like everybody focused.
Kids, yeah.
Which, I mean, that happens in your scrapbooking journey.
Yeah.
You know, you go from like very family oriented to like having some kind of mix of how that looks as your kids get older. And it's really fun now. And this is not necessarily mini album project talk, but seeing like the people who have become grandmas, and then now they get to share all their grandkids stuff, and that's so fun, to kind of go back into that, more family, or but there's some ladies who their kids are all grown up, and just watching them like as they develop their own sense, and it's more about them and their spouse and their like journey in a different stage of their life. But anyway, so I mean, yeah. But so yeah, I started the album that I have for our vacation trip. I did not do a mini album when I came to visit you, though. I didn't do that. So that was a couple years before that. What was that? 2018, I think, when I came to visit you. I lived here in Washington.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was 2019, wasn't it?
Maybe. It might have been.
It was.
That was around my birthday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's right.
That's why I was thinking maybe celebrated. It was 2 years after, because I thought it was like
maybe.
I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look.
I know. It feels like forever.
But I didn't do a mini album then.
Yeah.
For that. But we didn't go and do we did stuff, but we didn't do like vacation stuff.
Yeah.
Like we did when you came. I mean, well, and the hard part was when you came, because it was the pandemic, there was a lot less we could do. So we tried to do like different kinds of stuff, because stuff was just starting to open up when you came, because it was August, I think.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was the beginning of August. So yeah.
I think you were gonna come earlier and you had to switch because in June, I think you wanted to come around your birthday.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Remember?
You're right. Yeah, I forgot.
But anyway, okay, now we're just going down memory lane here. Okay, so let's talk about mini albums in the sense of how do you choose events and things to put in a mini album versus just scrapbooking it and putting it in your regular album? Like, is there a process that you use to determine that?
I don't think there's like a cookie cutter process. Like, I think it just depends. Like, wedding, like I definitely have, like a mini album that I'm going to do for our wedding, just because like you created the guest book for us, and then like you put some pocket pages in there, and I was like, that would be perfect for like, just simple wedding stuff, and then or photos, like I can print off some photos, and it kind of will get me jump started on scrapbooking, because like I mean, I was really worried about getting so overwhelmed. So like maybe
we had a lot of conversations about
we had a lot of conversations, and I was like, like I was starting to feel overwhelmed before even getting all the photos, like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Like,
no, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to shake you so bad, because I wanted to be like, no, just take the pressure off. It doesn't,
right.
Like, this is fun. Right. This is so funny. He's like, why? You stressing out was getting me all stressed out because you were stressed out. I was like, no.
Yes. Don't be stressed. Like, this is supposed to be fun. Well, and I think that like the anticipation, because our photographer took so many photos that it's been 2 months since we had our wedding. And so I'm just kind of like thinking about this, and we did have a lot of photos, and I have printed some off and stuff, and that's been a lot of fun. But like, so maybe I guess the basic thing that I look for is how to not get overwhelmed. So like a mini album is helpful when it's a big event or project or whatever, and it kind of like shrinks it to like more manageable.
Yeah.
So like with our trip that we went on, like feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to visit my best friend, and like I have all of these photos I'm going to take, like, but then it's like a lot. So it's like for us to go on that trip, and then just both of us kind of like had fun picking out and sharing like what album we're going to do and everything, like that was really fun, and it made it more fun and manageable and not like this big overwhelming thing.
Yeah. Well, and I know for me, like doing a mini album was another way that we could connect. It's like not only did we have fun seeing each other, which Scrappy world, when you have a bestie that you get to visit, it's kind of rare because a lot of us don't live together who are online. And so, and I understand some places people can get together easier, but still, like most of us live all different places. And so it's like the chance that you actually get to see each other on a regular basis is pretty slim. I mean, we've seen each other, what, 3 times in person altogether?
Yeah.
So,
and we've been best friends for like how many years now?
11,
like, yeah, 11
years or so. So,
yeah.
right. So it's like, well, anyway, yeah, somewhere around 11. And so it's like, but then on top of that, having that mini album was like another way that we could connect.
Right. And that's true. That's a good point too. Yeah. Yeah.
I think for me, so because I love mini albums. I love the way that they look when they turn out, but I absolutely hate doing them because it's so different, and I feel like there's so much planning that is involved, and then you have all these extra photos. It just ends up, I can build it up to be so much more, to such a bigger project. So like when you're saying, oh, it's much more manageable, I think, oh my gosh, no. Like there's so many things involved in it, so many different steps, all these photos. How do I pick, like all of these photos, where at least I can just pick one photo at a time and then I'll be good. But like it's the totality of the whole thing. It's like when I think about it, I'm like, this is a lot of work.
That is interesting.
But I love when it turns out and you have something like fully complete. Like I think about December Daily, when it's all fully complete and it's all done and you can look through and you see there's a start to a finish. And I don't get that when I do my big layout spreads and my big albums, because I don't scrap chronologically. There's not a beginning and an end. It's like, even when I would kind of do Project Life, even that, like, yeah, I have dates that I'm doing, and like maybe I'll be going in order and stuff. And I think when I do Project Life, I do try to do that more chronologically, and get that order. But like the minute you don't finish it and then you take some time, it's like now it's a bigger project. But anyway, it's like there's not as much of a start to finish aspect. And I will say the year that I finished Project Life, or did most of the year, I actually really loved that because there was a start and a finish. But it's just the totality of it makes it harder for me to decide to do a MIDI album, because I know like I'm probably not going to finish this. And then it drives me nuts because I have like, I don't know where it is. I have like a couple of like week in the lives where I started it and I have all the pictures printed, but I only have half of the week actually documented, like in the album form. Like I have the stuff other places. And then that's the other thing, is like, what if I like lose everything? The papers, because I'm a paper person, I gotta have all my notes on paper. And like that's why when I do December Daily, I like to have like a traveler's notebook where I can write down elements of things, which I didn't do last year, and I should have totally did that. Now I'm thinking, oh man, my brain was not working so much that I didn't even think I should write this stuff down, because now I'm gonna, like, since I didn't finish last year's, I mean, it'll be fine. But really, that's part of the projects. So it's like, for me, I just don't have it organized enough to, so I'm like really picky about what I decide to do a mini album in, because of the fact that I want to have a clear direction, so it is easier, because to me, it is a much bigger project.
That is really interesting. That's like the total opposite of my answer.
Yeah, right? But that's so what funny. I love about us, but I also love within the community, right? Because it's like we all have these different little perspectives on what we pick, and that's partly why I wanted to ask that question. And so like I know I tend to gravitate towards like a week in the life or a day in the life where, you know, I can have things that I can manage, you know.
Right.
And then also like December is one that I really like to do. I know there was one year where I did like, was it October or November? Because Shamel was going through it. And I don't know if it was an everyday project where you like document every day, but you document stuff throughout the week of like things you were thankful for. So I want to say that might have
That's
been
probably November, because I think a gratitude type thing is like more November
yeah, it must have. I don't know. I don't remember. I was in
because of
Hawaii.
Thanksgiving.
And I didn't do it in a mini album. I did it with pocket pages because I thought that would be more manageable for me, which at the time I think it was. And yeah, I probably didn't finish that one either, but yeah.
That's okay.
Also vacations are really nice for me to do mini albums
Yeah.
because there's so many photos. I feel like, the pocket pages lend really well in a mini album to be able to get all of the photos that you want to get because you're going to take a ton more photos. And then I think about like, yeah, you could do a big album for a vacation, but like, because I don't generally do a lot of layouts with a lot of photos, it's like I'm not maximizing and optimizing my space. So I feel like with a mini album, so that's also one thing that I kind of use to go, how many photos do I want to use from this thing? And will it be easier in a pocket page? And then I can pick bigger sizes or smaller sizes depending on what I want in the thing. And I can use a ton of photos and not feel bad, but also get the layering aspects because I can do fun pages, other pages. So,
right.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of like throughout that creative process. Like, so what do you plan ahead of time the albums that you're going to do before you do your event, or active or thing that you're going to do a mini album, or is it just depends on the mini album project? Do you do a lot of that before work?
It depends on the project. Like the one, our girls trip when I came to visit you, that one I think I did a lot of
But I think we both did.
Yeah, we did a lot of prep, and then for that one, and with the wedding one, like that one, you did a lot of prep, so there was prep involved. I didn't do much for it.
I did not scrapbook much that in June, honestly, and the beginning part of July because I was trying to work on that. And I thought about recording, but I was like, I just want to get as much done as I can, and I was already really busy with work.
Right. Yeah. That was
not having a ton of energy. And so it's like I was just trying to get stuff done. And something that I knew you would like, but something that I enjoyed. So it's like, and then like I completely spaced on taking any pictures of it before I gave it to you. Well, and I was working on it right up until we left, basically.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, with that one, I have done quite a bit of prep with that one. Like, I've decided on some of the photos that I want to use so far, and I've done one layout or card. You made like a kind of like a title card, and I put a couple photos in that one. And so I know like how many photos I need of each size. And so now that we've gotten all our photos back, I get to sit down and decide which ones I want to use now. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. I too, it all depends on the project. Like December daily, I like to have a little bit of an idea, but not too much. Like I'm not like some of the December daily ladies who have like all of these ideas of like what kind of activities can we do, how do I want to document movie, like I usually decide as I'm making it how I want to do it. And I just know I mostly like to go in, I might not get something for every day, but I like to go through the number system and kind of have something essentially for every day, even if I have more photos or no photos for that day. And I do like I mentioned having like a traveler's notebook album to write stuff in so that I can later. But not every year have I done that. And I always kick myself in the butt when I don't do that because then I don't have it written down.
Yeah.
But like I started a mini album for the Mexico trip that me and my husband went on with some of our friends. And that I decided after that I was going to do an album, and I decided I was doing an album for them too, which is a whole other thing in itself, because I'm like, oh, dang. Now I have 2 albums and it's still only partially done because I have to print more photos out. That's part of it. And that one I didn't do didn't do any prep ahead of time. So I had, which is fine because I wanted it to be more indicative of the trip, not necessarily like me picking out items that I thought we might use. So that was really nice because now I can pick out colors and different papers that I think will go well with the photos that we took and the colors of where we were at different places. So, but there was a lot of photos that I took when we went to Mexico City. That was like, we were only there a few days, but like, dang, there was a lot of photos. And stuff. So, and that will probably be more photo driven as opposed to like journal driven, where like week in the life or day in the life. Those I do also do more documentation like as I'm doing it. So I like to have like not necessarily a plan of like how I'm going to do the album, but that documentation aspect of things. But yeah. So it just
Well, and I forgot to talk about December Daily, but with December Daily, like the last couple of years that I've done it, I haven't done it daily. And that was kind of nice not doing it daily, because I remember before when I would do it, and I did do it daily, and it was like real, I wouldn't say stressful, but like it kind of took the focus off of enjoying the holiday. And like I always had to have a photo, you know, and some days I wouldn't have a photo, and I'm like super OCD where it like really bothers me if I use a photo from a different day that was not taken, you know, like I am so OCD like that, like very anal. And so it would drive me crazy because there would be like a couple days where I didn't even think about it, and it's like, oh crap, like what am I going to do now? You know, like that would drive me crazy. And now I'm like, whatever. So like the first year that Ashley and I were together, I did a December documented, and that was really nice because it was like those days where we like really did go out and do something. Like I could just focus on however many photos I took. I didn't have to narrow it down to, you know, only a couple photos. Like I could do like as many photos as I wanted, and that was really fun. So I think I'm going to do December documented again. I think, unless I changed my mind, which I could. But last year, and I actually haven't finished my album from last year. I'm going to try to finish that one in November. But I did decide, because I had a pre-made album that I never used, and it was just like a traveler's notebook, and it already had the days like stamped in it, like it had day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I did do, I think 1 through 10 back in April, I think, at one of my retreats, and that was really fun, like just choosing whichever photo. And so like I do like the aspect of doing the daily photo, but at the same time, like it's nice to have the freedom. So I think I'll probably just kind of do whatever I feel like this year, you know, like if there's a photo every day, that's great. And if there's not, like I'll probably just kind of add in whatever.
Yeah, I think this year, and I know we weren't gonna just talk about specific ones, but I guess that's where we're going.
It's fine.
That's how we rolling today.
Yep.
I want to be more intentional because my kids aren't going to be here this year. So there's going to be no pictures of them in December because
that's so sad
around Thanksgiving. And so I really kind of want to focus on maybe some aspects of things that I enjoyed about other years that I did December Daily, and like maybe recreating some of those moments. Like, so when we lived in Hawaii, one of the things I loved to get was mochi, and they, around the holidays, they had a really fun holiday mochi pack. And I think like I want to go, me and my husband like to go to some of the Asia markets in our area and like doing like a trip where we go and we get some Asian themed like holiday things, and then like I was thinking about that, and like maybe we can go to like a German area where they have some like German holiday type things and get some things like that. And I think I want to have it a little bit more planned of like some things that I can do to like recreate some of the elements. It's like I usually always get either a beer holiday stuff, or like the different seasonal beers for holidays, or the last few years I've gotten the wines holiday set, which reminds me I need to look out for that at Costco, and because that's probably coming out soon, and get that and document like some of that kind of stuff, because those are things that I really enjoy doing around the holiday and having a different beer or wine. And so, you know, like going through and like me tasting it and like what I thought about it. And so more of the journaling aspect and the documenting of some of the different things I enjoy doing, and making it way more me focused since the kids won't be there. But then, you know, sprinkling some of the other holiday things that I like, you know, like getting a tree and like some of the decorating type stuff, and just kind of focus on like maybe something nostalgic of like, this is a memory that from one of the other years from December Daily. So I really want to be a lot more intentional with it and do a lot more of that prep work. And I think that will help me, especially on those days where there isn't anything, because there's always I've always had days in December where I didn't have something. because you know, there's some days there's nothing there. There's just not really a lot going on. It's daily stuff. And like, even doing like a coffee, you know, like where you just took a picture of you and your coffee or something, you know, like, so just kind of like making it fun, but taking elements from other years that I enjoyed, and even taking elements of pages that I did in other albums that I really loved how that page looked, and like doing that with my photos and stuff. So I want to do that.
Yeah.
Last year Allie had this really big album, and it's fun, but I am not going back to this album size. Because on days where some of the pockets are like these, and like, it's kind of fun because you can make a big spread, but then you're having to like have like these weird sizes. And I don't
what size is that?
I don't know. 10 by 6, maybe 10 by 7.
It is crazy.
A weird size.
That is weird.
I'm not positive.
That was last year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. It might actually be 11. It's 10 and a half, almost 10 and a half. I think it's 7. No, 8. 10 and a half by 8.
That is crazy.
It's like, it can be fun. Like it was fun to do something different.
Yeah.
But
So did you print your pictures like as 4x6s, or did it like depend? Like,
it depends. Like this one,
that big one,
I did just the doggies, so it's a long
wow,
4 by 10 and a half, 10, I guess, probably.
Wow. That is like crazy.
Some of them, you know, I could just do like, so some of the pages, like this one, I put all the cards on a big sheet. And so I did, you know, 3x4 cards and then a 4x4.
Oh, interesting.
So, I mean, it's kind of fun because it made me like getting back into it. I had to like really think and be crafty. And so that was fun. But like, I just don't like it because, I mean, and I ended up adding 4x the 6x8 size, because I was like, I need something like more normal,
different,
because like this one is weird, you know, because I don't want it to be all the way across. I could have did that, I guess, but anyway, so it's like, it was fun to like do some different things, and like it's fun for like some really nice cool pictures like this one.
Ooh, that is cool.
Driving on the post, and like with all the fog and everything, like that's really cool because I can print out really picture. I don't know if I did my tree. Oh yeah, I did. So like on the one side, I did like one of my table scapes,
cool.
and so like that was really cool to do in a big picture. But it's like
Yeah.
how many? I don't need that many of the big ones.
Right.
Like getting the trees, So down the tree yard
Oh,
is really,
cool.
that's like super cool. But how many of those do I want?
Right.
But
What size of a photo is that? Is that like an 8x10?
I think so. I think so because it floats around a little bit. So I just printed it by 8x10. I probably could have did it a little bigger if I wanted to. But like, and I mean, it works nice for certain shots, like my fireplace. Well, it's not straight, but I probably had. Oh, I think our tree was over here. No, the tree's over. Anyway, the tree is over there, and there's stuff next to it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, so yeah. So just like hitting some different elements.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to go back to the other size because as fun as this was, I don't want this size forever. And I don't know if she did that size again this year or not.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at any of her stuff.
Oh yeah, I haven't either.
I'll probably just go on there just to get my album because I do like to get her albums because they're really nice.
Her albums are nice and they're really good quality too. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm trying to figure out what I should do for an album because we don't have a lot of extra money right now. So I'm like, okay, what do I have on hand? And I was actually looking at on Amazon, they have like card holder, like ring, like it's like a 3 ring, and then it just has like a wooden cover and a wooden back. And those were like $10 for one of them or something. And I was like, well, that's actually not a bad idea because then you could just do pocket pages or something really simple in there. And so I was kind of thinking about maybe doing that. Or I just recently got an older book. And I was thinking, oh, I wonder if I could like glue a couple of the pages together or something. And then just like, because the pages were really thin and like frail. Yeah. So I'm like thinking, okay, how could I fortify those that it wouldn't fall apart? But I was thinking maybe I could do that, like glue some pages together.
Take
maybe
some out and then
glue some together.
Because my thought would be space for once you add photos.
Once you add.
And I don't know. You might be able to get it flatter than I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know when I do albums. Like
I know. You get thick stuff.
So this album is mostly done. I don't think it's all the way done, but it's mostly done. What year is this? 2019. And look, that's how big
fun.
it is.
That is thick.
So, because I do chunky stuff.
Yeah, you do a lot of chunky stuff.
I mean, I did like tons of fun things. That year I added like some.
Oh, that's so fun.
So like, a lot of it is done. Actually, I think I actually liked this year because I did all different numbers. I found some online and printed them out.
That's so fun.
Stuff. But like even because like in the pocket I added like this and it's on each side. So there's 2 different hearts.
Oh, that's cool.
Thick. And I use chipboard and color casts because they have a lot of fun stuff and
they do.
I have a lot of fun doing. I just have a lot of fun doing these. And like some days I did like just
I love that.
But anyway, I think the only thing I have left is mostly Christmas on that week. It looks like. No, after day 17, I think is the last day. See, so like I just have a hard time finishing. Because it like if I don't get it done and that's one thing I do try to do is do December daily in December because otherwise I know I probably won't finish it that much longer after December because I'm just ready to move on to the new season because that's how I like to be doing a project in the season that is. And I think that's why I don't finish them very often. So I probably should be more prepared.
Yeah.
But
Well, and that's
How is that?
interesting though, because it kind of depends for me. Like I like doing it in the season and during the season, but at the same time, it's also, especially with Christmas, is like super busy. So I
Yeah.
find that a lot of times I do it like the month after, or a lot of times there'll be like YouTuber friends that are
Yeah.
doing series and stuff like
Yeah.
Christmas in July, or like Moira does a Christmas video every 25th of every month. And so
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be able to hit that series and then it kind of sparks
Mhm.
me. And so it's like,
Yeah.
I'm actually not impartial to creating Christmas layouts through the whole year. Like, I think that's
Well,
probably more what I do rather than scrapbook during the
I think there's a
season.
lot of people who do it like similar to that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I've always, it's like, that's where it's like, I wish I could be more like that, but it's hard for me to get, like, it's hard for me to do Christmas in July. And I thought about doing that this year, but then July, I did not get very much scrapbooking done,
Yeah.
except like your album stuff. And then when I got back from your wedding, it was go, 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 go with work. And I was just so tired. It could not get a lot of that stuff done. So I focused on the Crafty Maven stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping to get more of my album done. But I think this year I'm going to start ahead and work on this. So I actually think probably later this month I'll just start working on it again. And I have to decide if I want, how much of it I want to document on like and share, because I would love to do that. But there's a lot of times where like on my days off, me and my husband will watch movies, and I have all my Christmas stuff downstairs, and I'll just bring the album and I'll just work on the pockets, because I can do that while I watch a movie. But if I do too much, I'll miss too much of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm going to start doing this month.
That's a good idea.
Kind of get me prepared for how I want to do this year's.
Mm-hmm.
And, but then again, we're working on our wedding album.
Yeah.
That I'm using the Vicky Booten.
Yeah,
one.
Vicky Booten.
And even though the colors are not anything your wedding colors at all.
That's funny.
Well, and that was one thing, like when I did yours, I had so much fun because I was like, ooh, I can pick colors that are your wedding colors. And so I like went through a lot of my stuff and picked out stuff that I knew would match. And so that was super fun. That's the fun I like also about mini albums, is you can be really specific about like the color scheme, where even though I do that on layouts, it's not a big thing, it's not a big scale of it. And so it's like, so I had so much fun doing that, picking through and picking like certain, like what collections do I want, what colors, and trying to get close to. Though let me tell you, I had a really hard time finding a burgundy color, because apparently we just do not have enough burgundy stuff in scrapbooking, and I think we need to change that, because I was like, there is not enough. The teal and turquoise color was like, there's so much. And like, I felt so bad, because I'm like, there is not enough like stuff. And the stuff that I knew that would work with it was I've already used those papers. Right. Because there was Pink Paisley, I think, had some stuff in one of the fall times where they had some kind of burgundy and like brown type colors. And, like I have like scraps. That's it. So I'm like trying to use up my scraps so that I have those colors on your thing. And like, oh my gosh. So anyway, so
that's funny.
Did you share the album at all yet on your channel? I know you mentioned.
I don't think I have.
Well, everybody be on the lookout.
Yes, I think it's coming. I think actually it's scheduled for tomorrow. So
okay.
By the time this goes live, I will have it posted.
I know you were talking about getting it done.
Yes.
Filming and sharing what you were going to do with it. And I have not done that. And I don't know if I will. I'll probably just start talking about it when I do. But I don't know if we want to kind of start wrapping up, because
we can do that.
We didn't want to talk too long. And I think we should probably maybe do another episode on this. And
maybe that's good.
Talk, have it a little bit more scheduled.
Yeah,
I
I
say
think that
that
would be a good
knowing that
idea.
we might not be able to do that, but that's okay. Because I think talking about these projects will be really fun. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about like October type of projects
Yeah, I
and like
think that's a good idea.
on that and some more of that process of how we go about like deciding what kind of things that
Yeah.
we do.
Oh, and maybe like ask people in the group like what types of mini albums they like, and then we can talk about those too.
That's a good idea. Yeah. One thing I wanted to finish off saying is that anybody who hasn't found out or heard yet, Lisa Brooks and Collie Banks and Nicole
Mhm.
have started a podcast
Yeah.
on Lisa's channel. I don't know if it's on Nicole's channels too, but I know it's on Lisa's channel. So for sure you can watch it there or listen to it. Right,
Fun.
audios. They are talking about eventually they want to do video too, but I don't think they have that figured out yet.
Okay.
So,
You should
so
leave a link below.
I'll leave a link to the first one. I listened to the first one today while I was
Oh,
doing
did you?
other stuff, and oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I just love
Oh,
listening to, and it's a lot of like their stories of how they met and how they got started scrapbooking, and it's like it's like I know them from being on the Crafty Maven and
mhm.
stuff, kind of seeing them do their thing, and they both scrap a lot differently than I do. So we kind of went like more our own different ways, but it's so fun just seeing like how they started and how they got to be friends. Cause I didn't, it's like, it's
Yeah.
funny. It's like it's like, people are friends with other people, obviously,
Right.
but it's like sometimes there's people that meet and you just don't realize that they're friends. And
Mhm.
like so cool just hearing those stories. And I just love hearing stories of people in our community that are really close and have really made awesome friendships, because I know we're not the only ones.
Right. Yeah.
And but it's just fun hearing other people's stories of like how did they meet, and how did they get started being friends, and how does their friendship and creativeness work with each other, and like how do you see that evolve and grow? It's just super fun.
Yeah.
But so if you guys
Yeah.
want listen, and I'm just really excited to see another group of scrapbookers do a podcast, because I know that there are, and we've talked about this, I know that there are some podcasts that are crafty, but a lot of them are just craft in general. Like when I've
Mhm.
seen on like Apple and Spotify, there's not really a lot of scrapbooking. There's
Yeah.
a few. And so it's just really nice that we have another perspective.
Mhm. It
And
is.
I can't wait to listen to them. It was a lot. It's just listening to friends, and
Mhm.
but
That's
it's
awesome.
super fun listening to them. So that's my shout out for this week, is that you guys got to listen to them, and we got to give them all the love, because
Mhm.
I'm a big advocate for supporting each other and all the things, because it's a doggy dog scrappy world here,
Yep.
and
It
we all
is.
so hard for share, and there's some amazing people who share, but like just being able to support each other, and because I think we need it. It's like sometimes it's it's hard, and I know we've kind of had these conversations a little bit lately, and I've heard a lot of other people talk about it lately, about just like how hard it is being a content creator in the scrapbooking world, because
Yeah.
of how things are right now. And like it's interesting because I've been a little bit more removed
Mhm.
years, and then coming back and juggling with that, um just like, okay, things have changed so much, but
Mhm.
not, and trying to keep a broader perspective of like, not that doom and gloom, because like there's so many things going on in our world also, that it just feels like sometimes it's like, oh, everything's bad. It's like the scrapbooking world is falling, or sky is falling. I feel like sometimes people are saying all that stuff, but then I think about it, I'm like, no, it's just changed. I know
Mhm.
I probably mentioned this before, and I'm going to say it again, because recently Shamel was saying some stuff too about like and it reminded me, it's really just about our perspective, and that's really what she was saying. It's like, okay, we actually, like, instead of being so bogged down by like, oh, we can't do it this way, how we used to do it. Because and I know me, as especially as a creator, I like to do things the way I like to do them. And there's parts of what I do that I haven't changed that much at all. There's certain aspects that I've changed a lot and changed my perspective a lot. And I love to try things. So like, I'm always adding new things to it, but like, there's certain things that I just like to do it this way.
Right.
And sometimes we get stuck in, I just like to do it this way. And I think that's why it's so hard for our community in some ways, because we get stuck in these, I just like to do it this way because I've always done it this way. And we forget that the world is changing, and we have young people coming in and bringing their own perspectives on how things are and wanting to do it differently. And we have people who are in the creative aspect of like the owners or the design team people who really influence things also. And it's like, if we don't allow ourselves to change and grow, we will be stuck, and it will seem like our industry is failing when it's not. It's just evolving into how things evolve, you know. And like, we can either go with it and learn something and grow, or we will be left behind thinking we're all by ourselves when we're not. And so, you know. Anyway, that's my TED Talk for today. You know, and I don't want to be stuck in that place. That's like, it's like, I don't want to be, because this is my joy. This is where I get joy. This is where I come to fill my cup and to be happy. It's all about having fun and enjoying ourselves and being able to be creative. And it's like, so like, don't, and I know we've had this conversation. It's like, definitely do you know, you got to do, if you love it, do it that way. But also know that if you don't change and grow with how the industry is growing, because there's somebody in the top, there's people in the top that do influence how things go. And it's like, and sometimes they influence things and they don't realize what's going down in the underground either. It's like, I remember when we were like, we're in the group of the people who did YouTube first. And
we started.
How long did it take for everybody to realize, oh, video is the way to go. Video is how we're gonna. It's like, I was listening to Nicole and Lisa. That's part of how they started their channels. Is I was looking for this type of thing, and there was nobody there. So I decided to do it. You know, I decided to share. You know, because I wanted to be part of that. And that's part of why I started. It's like, I started my channel in August. So I'm just over 11 years now and on YouTube. And I started because I started watching stuff at night because I couldn't fall asleep. And I found Mercy Tierra. And then from there, I found Sandy, who's Gonzo, and Maggie Milo. And I remember them loving scrapbooking and hearing them just talk about scrapbooking. And then Christy, and there was a couple other ladies who probably aren't even doing scrapbooking anymore. At least Ashley, who was it? One of them was Ashley something. And I remember there was a big hop because it was starting to get to be where you like hops were a thing, but it was like a face-to-face hops is what at that beginning stage. And where like we'd all do questions, you know. And I remember a whole lot of them were like, if you wanted to just do a channel, you know, like, because there wasn't really hardly anybody out there. There was a few people, you know, like, except for really big people, like, you know, the big card makers and the garden girls. And, you know, and there's a few big people, you know. Mercy Tierra was another one of the really,
she was really big. And
then you had a few smaller channels, like the ones that I just mentioned, you know. And like, and we were just so hungry. Like, the whole online community was so hungry, and we're like, I want to connect. And we watched YouTube for whatever reasons, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't even know why I started. Probably because my ex was watching YouTube a lot, because that was the
Yeah.
big thing, you know.
It was.
It's like, but looking back and looking and realizing like how much we were influenced, but we influenced this change, you know. And so it's like, but we could get stuck in that place that those other, you know, big designers and big companies did when we got into this, right? Is being stuck in that and go, this is the only way that we can share and reach people. Where so it's like, now we have to be innovative, and we have to figure out like where are our people. Like, I know you were talking about views, and this is like not the direction I meant to go. But, and I've heard other people talk about it. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking, you know, I hear what is going on, the chatter, and I'm trying to pay attention and like think of, really try to problem solve and realize that video content is like super big, but that's not how people are coming to scrapbooking now, I don't think.
No.
I think we're getting lost in the big sea. And so I think we have to think of, how are people wanting to find us?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point.
How, because and there is so many, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm like all for, you know, if you want to do video content, do it because you love it. Don't do it because you think you're going to get like views or fame or money. It's like, you definitely, if you want to be on a design team, you probably need to be able to do videos, but it takes, there's a love for it. And I know you were talking about like, I just love making videos, and I thought about it, and I'm like, you know, it's like, I didn't realize that when I started sharing that I was going to love this whole process. And it's like, when you get out of it, it's like, yes, there's a lot of things I don't like about content. I think we all could say that, right? But I love the aspect of making something, sharing it in a way that I can connect with other people. And it's like, and I really do like making YouTube videos. Like, I will never stop being mad about making YouTube videos and not getting the views and not getting the money or whatever. It's like, I will never be mad about that. And it's never been about that for me. It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, it is hard when you've been on a design team or you get it ingrained, like, oh, I got to pay attention to the analytics. But like, honestly, that's not how. So it's like, how do we connect to the people who are new? How are we going to connect to this new group? Because they're finding, they're going to come in a whole different way. And I don't know, is it through reels and shorts? Maybe. It sucks. I don't want to do it. Just like the bloggers didn't want to come to the YouTube, the video space. Like, I get it. But we got, so anyway, it's like, because they're out there. The people are out there. I see people. I've talked to people in person who are like, oh, I love to do paper crafting. Their scrapbook just looks different. So how do we connect to those people that are also wanting to do some form of memory keeping? It just looks different. It's like, we have to, you know.
Connect to the dots.
Or we just have to be okay with that. That we're gonna have lower views. Or like, YouTube is not getting views right now. Like, just overall, like, I've been listening to the chatter just in general of YouTube. And not to say you can't make money on YouTube and the people aren't getting views, but there's certain niches that are going to get a lot more, but like, just overall, even the big channels aren't getting the views that they used to get. There's so many people.
It's really interesting because I was looking at a couple of the last few videos that I posted, and on layout process videos, like, views suck. My views specifically, like, I'm in like
everybody. That's the
20 or 30 people have looked at videos that have been on there for months, you know, and I'm just like, it never was this bad. Like, even being a smaller YouTuber, like, I could easily get like 100 views. And that was like after a couple days, you know, like, and being a smaller YouTuber, like, I was never really a big YouTuber, but like, I did post, I don't remember if it was my wedding intro, like just talking about our wedding series, or if it was my life update. But I looked at one of those and it was up to like 250 views. And I was like, oh my God, like how? Like I didn't
I
post it
think they're pushing certain
anywhere.
types. I think it's the type of videos that they're pushing.
I think people like face to face. Like, is YouTube pushing face to face, like
It,
seeing people's
I think
face?
they are. I think so. Hmm.
Because maybe, yeah,
And
maybe that's why.
I did a video where I talked about Michael's getting Joanne's intellectual property, and that video did so well. It has almost
Oh.
8,000. I
Whoa.
cannot. I've never had a video do that awesome. And I have a couple of videos that get a lot of clicks because I had like earlier on, I did like how I print my photos,
Mhm.
like multiple photos on an 8 by 10 page or something, and then like
Mhm.
silhouette type tutorials. And
Right. Yeah.
it's really basic and probably really crappy because I did them many, many years ago. I was still learning how to do it.
Right.
Um, Honestly, I think one series that we should do, or maybe we can talk about this on the podcast, is how to start off doing a YouTube channel and do, because I still feel like, and I know for a little while when I started, after I started, a few
Mhm.
of us, I want to say Victoria Marie did one, a few of
Yeah.
us talked about how we started that journey
Our
and
channel. Yeah.
what we did, but I still feel like there's this big stigma, and I see it because in Jen's group, in the creator group, a lot of times there'll be questions of like, how do you guys do this? How do you edit your stuff? How do you do this? So I still think there's so many people who want to know how to do that so that
Yeah.
they can create videos, even if it's just on a short term, like small content, like reels and shorts and the little things like that. And it would be really awesome to like get a collective of us together. And this is me now signing myself up for this. But of us talking and doing more like a round table of like, this is how I do it. This is how I do it. Because there are a lot of us who do it differently. Like I don't like
Right.
doing any of my editing on my phone,
Mhm.
except for like I'll do
Same.
picture editing and stuff,
Right.
but like on a large scale I don't like doing that.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I do it all on my computer because I want, well, one, I like my eyes,
Bigger space. Yeah.
and even with that I'm still losing it, and a lot of it because I'm on screens all day.
Yeah.
um this is why I have glasses now. But it's like talking about what equipment, because Nicole was talking about this. It was like she reached out to a whole bunch of people when she went to start, and one person got back to her. So it's like I think a lot of people just don't even know, like, I've seen that. What can I use to
Mhm.
film? What can I use to edit my photos? And some people edit everything on their phone and upload it from their phone. And someone was talking
Mhm.
about like how long it took for them to get their videos from studio to on like uploaded on YouTube. And I'm like, I never upload it from my phone because it takes forever to upload from your phone.
Yep.
By the way, anybody who's listening who wants to do videos, it takes forever. Like, there's probably ways that you can do it faster, but it is like a short is a lot easier. I don't know if YouTube's made it easier on purpose. Well,
Mhm.
that would be my guess. But anyway, so I would so now I guess I just signed myself up to like maybe do a series on Crafty Maven where we have like a round table or a few
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
talking about it, or some people we can all post our videos like in a playlist where we talk about how, like, what we do in
Yeah.
editing, do in filming, what like, and how that looks for us and programs that we use, because there's a ton of that. Like I know
Mhm.
what that stuff, but I forget. And like I try, when I see people asking those questions, I try to answer them for people because I know how hard it is to get started.
Right.
Like when we started, there was nothing out there.
Mm-mm.
I made a stand because I had no stand. I used my kid's toddler bed siding that we had taken off,
That's
and I
so
used
funny.
that to put my iPad on so I could get the overshot view and I had books holding it. Like, how that did not fall over.
How ghetto.
But I used that for months
That's
before
so
I moved
funny.
downstairs and was able to find a clamp. And even this time, when my clamp finally died, and when I restarted, I was asking everybody, what do you use to film? It's like, and yes, I've seen Mercy Tira's like fancy, and I know she's posted some videos too, but I've seen her fancy camera. But I was like, I've used my nice camera. It's a pain to use my big camera.
Yeah.
It's like
SLRs
you have to pay it. This is another
so
tip.
awful.
You totally use your big camera if you have one and you want to use it, but you have to check and keep an eye on it because it will turn off on you.
Yep.
You can only film so much video footage. So, and
that's why phones are so much easier these days. And I think that's what a lot of people use. I use a webcam. But right now I'm using my phone just because I have no idea. I packed up my webcam because we were supposed to move this year, but we never did. And I'm like, I have no idea where it is, in what box it's in. So,
well, and like even now, Facebook won't let you live stream from your computer. Right. You have to use your phone.
Yeah.
Or you have to have a system. Yeah. Which I know that there is some, because you probably use it. I think we used it when you do your webcam. You put it through that you put it through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, it's like a whole process. And I think like, because Facebook is really hard to do lives on. I do them once a year for the scrapbooking store, maybe a couple times a year. And it's like every time I do it, it always takes like half an hour to remember the process.
YouTube is a lot like that now too.
Yeah,
which I know that they are pushing their lives. So when I went live, I got more views. I was doing a live because I was cleaning out some stuff, and I was like, hey, I might as well do a live and chit chat with people. And I forget what I had to do. I think I had to use my phone. Because once again, they want you to have they want you to use like webcam, put it in like a program. And I was like, I'm not doing that because it's complicated and I don't know how. It's like, I know what program I got to use. I just don't know how to use it well enough to be able to go live and have it go smoothly.
Oh, yeah. It is very complicated.
When you go live, you have to look at the comments, and that also is complicated too. So,
yeah. Yep. It's a lot of technical jargon.
And it's not that, like, I don't mind doing it. It's just, it's like, well, I might as well just use my phone then and just watch it from a laptop so I can see that, like, have a chit chat with everybody.
Yeah.
It used to be so easy.
I know, right?
All the time when I would share the kits for Click Kits, because it was just easier to go live because then I could interact with people while I was sharing the kit. Like, but anyway, so yeah. So I guess, that's a series that we need to do because I feel very beneficial. And it's awesome. Like this information is always changing. And that's the hard part, is like because I haven't been creating for quite a while. I know YouTube has changed a lot, and I paid attention to some of the things that they are pushing, but I still don't know how to use a lot of the technical stuff because I'm not very technical. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've learned everything on the fly while we were doing it, especially when you're doing the Crafty Maven. Like, there's so much stuff. Like I was telling you at work, like, because I done the behind scenes for a lot of the website for the Crafty Maven and my own, it's like I've learned how to use a little bit of that back stuff. And at work, the website is a whole different program, and they've dumbed it down to make it easier for people. But when you want to do code stuff, which used to be really easy to put in, but I get they don't want people accidentally removing code, because that is kind of easy to do if you're not careful. But like when you add a link and stuff in a blog post, you have to do it in the code. You can't always put it on or at least it used to be this way. Now we're talking like old school stuff now, because people don't really read blogs that much anymore. And now, and like I said, now the blogs are all, or websites and blog situation are all like dumbed down so anybody can do it. And but like, yeah, you'd have to go in the code and add the link so it's embedded in the code. And now you can't just the site that my work uses, you can't do that. And now it's all AI too.
Yikes. That is
And
so
I'm
weird.
like, how do I get this form off that I put on last year when we weren't using AI? And let me tell you, I realize I do not like that. I wish I didn't say I could do it because
Yeah.
I can't.
That's funny.
And I ask my kids, but I won't let them. Well, I shouldn't say I won't let them. They don't really do a whole lot of the behind the scenes website stuff now. And now they're old enough that I would be like, okay, but you know, it's like I did want them to wait a little bit because that's a wild, wild west world out there.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yep.
Anyway, okay, we're gonna close out. So, do you have any tips or takeaways for today for working on mini?
Well, just that, like, if there's a big event, you know, that you're really excited about or something, and you don't know how to incorporate it into like your daily album, like, don't be afraid to use other types of albums, like whether it's a 6x8 album or, you know, like you make a specific mini album. And that's the other nice thing about YouTube is a lot of people share their mini albums, and you can go and just search for, you know, whatever size you want to do or whatever. I know Paige Evans does a lot of mini album classes.
Yeah.
And she'll like prepare all of the supplies and everything, and then I mean, she makes it pretty easy. They are kind of spendy, so if you don't want to do that and you just want to use your own supplies, like you can totally just look it up on YouTube and you know, or even Pinterest. Like there's tons of ideas out there these days to find mini albums, but don't be afraid to just try or you know, do something new. That if you've never done a mini album, there's tons of ideas out there.
Yeah. I love that because I think sometimes we can easily like get carried away and the resources are out there. I think my tip or takeaway would be is know who you are as a crafter before you when you're thinking, as you start thinking about it. If you're someone who likes to have things planned, make sure you do that plan work. If you don't, like, just keep yourself in mind, because then you can adjust your album to you instead of making it, because there are, like you said, there are so many different options to do. But I know in the past I've done like one little word where that kind of album does not jive with who I am, and sometimes you have to try them out to see. But like really think about what kind of crafter you are and how you normally like to craft. And I say that because like I'm not a big organized person, so I have an album that needs to be super organized. It'll be organized. The prep work will be organized, but the actual album will never get finished. So to be successful, think about who you are so you can plan it that way. And that's why I've been so successful with December Daily, because the prep work is minimal. But I use my energy for the crafty part of it that I enjoy, where like you can do it anyway, but do it based off of like your own personality and crafting style. And I think that's how you'll have a lot more success in it.
Yeah.
And tailor it to you instead of tailoring that specific project to you. So
yeah, that's a good tip.
So those are that's our tips for today. And we just chatted quite a while about lots of different. So
yes.
You're welcome. And I'm super glad that we're back at this, because
I know, me too.
And I know it's been super crazy with me being in the hospital and not feeling great, and you just life. getting back into the swing of things. But I love this podcast, and I love that we get to interact with everybody. And so this is my reminder to everyone to make sure that you comment and all that kind of fun stuff, because that helps us know kind of where we need to adjust things in some aspects, and the conversations that you guys want to have, we want to have. So yeah. And with that said, we need to get done because my brain is starting to fail. So we will see you guys next week and talk more about mini albums, because apparently
yes, we will.
Okay. Bye everyone.
Bye.